Thank you for coming. I appreciate your opening your yard and your home to us, and I appreciate your time this evening. I think Jim was spying on my sister Kathleen and brother-in-law's house because they got a Wii for Christmas. Well, they got, Seamus got. And at some point late Christmas night, we had it all tuned up and we got the boxing game out. And I did a demonstration of how Wii boxing worked. And a few months later, I went back and they had Wii all tuned up. And they had a little Adavar of Roscoe there. So Seamus, who some of you know, and I had a little boxing match. And Seamus, being a good nephew, he was sure to let me win that race. But we're going to win this race, and it won't be on a TV screen with little computer modules. It'll be because of all of us deciding that it is time for something different in Congress and something different for the 6th Congressional District. I definitely want to make sure you are thinking of your questions and touch on a few things before we get to your questions. The most important thing that I think you want to know and believe is that we can win this race. And we can absolutely win this race, and I've never felt it as much as I feel it now. Frederick County is the center of the universe when it comes to the 6th Congressional District. But there are many other stars in the sky, and there are 8 counties in our district, all the way to Harford County in the east, so Harford, Baltimore, the northern parts there, so if you know people over there. All of Carroll County, very conservative Carroll County. Obviously, we've got Frederick and a little bit of Montgomery County in the center. And then moving west, all of Washington and Allegheny and Garrett counties. We've been lucky. We've had events in every county, and we've got events planned for every county throughout the summer. So we keep pushing and we keep knocking on doors and we keep mailing and calling. My friend Bruce here was busy on the phones this winter, and I tell you, if you ever need a telemarketer, Bruce is your man. We can win this race because we're going to work hard, and Jim's right. People have called it the bare knuckles rough race. But we really don't have to make it too bare knuckles rough, because Roscoe Bartlett's voting record is really so easy to examine and say, this doesn't work for us. Everybody's had a little issue that they're worried about here. Republicans are not motivated right now. That's one of the reasons we're going to win this race. They're not motivated because their issues are wrong. We've seen the examination of their issues for the last several years, and it gets progressively worse. Roscoe Bartlett and people of his party had a good chance, and I can respect Roscoe's desire to serve. What I don't respect is the positions that he's taken and the votes that he's taken. Now, you read in the paper this last week that voter registration numbers are moving in our direction. That's also a very good trend, why I believe what I believe. Because people are very excited. The Democratic primary process dragged out so terribly long, and from my perspective, I was like, can you get over with it already? Because we kind of want the spotlight on us now. But it does have an important point to make that Democrats were engaged every single day. Democrats were registering more people. Even after our primary in February, you saw the numbers. We keep registering more people. We're registering, we're excited, and we're turning out. We're turning out to vote in June for primaries. Why? Because it matters to us. It matters to us. We have to turn things around. And we're very excited that we're seeing those trends in the 6th Congressional District. You know, we know that there have been some candidates who've run in the past, and they did deliver some body blows to Roscoe. But for the last 16 years, the Democrats have never put up someone who's actually served in office. That's one of the advantages I think I bring to this race. Now, you all are City of Frederick residents, and you know that life wasn't perfect when I was in City Hall. But it's so important that I can acknowledge, and I do know, how much I learned there. Not only did I know how to balance a budget, not only did I figure out how important it was to push important projects, it's also important to learn when to put the gloves aside and just wait and let things work through in a natural fashion. You know, I was joking with somebody that I might have bored people to death with all the technical issues with the water crisis, but I felt it was important to tell you how smart I was about it. No, they really just wanted to know that I was managing it. And that's part of what I learned in City Hall and then after, having left and said, oh yeah, I get it. Maybe they don't need to know, or maybe they don't want to know, because people are busy. So that's part of what I bring to the race, that learning process and that desire to serve, and also that record of accomplishment, because I do think that the downtown with Carroll Creek built in looks so wonderful. I do think that our relationship with the police department, growing in our communities and really having true community policing, makes a difference. And I do think it makes a difference to have that openness that Barack Obama is talking about. You know that I talked and ran on open government, and I really believe in it. And I think the neighborhood advisory councils are a great way to illustrate that. And we can do that exact same thing when I'm elected to Congress. Because it doesn't matter what you say here in Frederick if you never hear it over in Harford County. And what I'd like to do is, no, I don't want to have everybody have neighborhood advisory councils for your member of Congress, but I'll do those round tables that we had. And that's the way we'll stay in touch with people and tell them what we're doing, because it's so important. How are we going to win? There's lots of different ways. Bruce is working on one of them right now. I want you to go to our website. It's jennifer08.com. Tell people to go there, generate trips there. We have YouTube connections. The young people have told me how to figure out Facebook and all that. I'm such a geezer now. I'm officially a geezer, but there are wonderful things that we're trying to do that will bring people in the 6th Congressional District together. The new feature that will be starting in about a week is called Jen at 10. And it'll be a few minutes update every night at 10 o'clock. We'll upload what we've done. It'll be a video weblog. It won't be all written out. And we'll tell you what we've done for the day or week. And we'll also ask what's important happening in different parts of the district. Because you don't know anything that's happening in Garrett County. You don't know why really they oppose solar or wind power. And you think it's a great idea. Why don't they want those turbines on the ridge? It has to do with the bats. But there are reasons that we all have to be in this together, because fixing climate change won't happen with just the people in Frederick or the people in Baltimore or Carroll counties. We have to figure out and respect what each jurisdiction has going for itself, and also figure out how together we're going to be stronger. You know, I've talked a little bit about energy, and I do respect Congressman Bartlett and his ability to speak very well on peak oil. Now, we all know that Roscoe likes to give speeches on peak oil, but the real test for a member of Congress is, so what have you done? What have you done for us? My idea is not to speak on peak oil, because I've already figured that part out, is to come up with a solution that makes sense for us. We know that we're addicted to oil, and we know that we have to come up with alternate solutions, because I can't promise that I'm going to lower the price of a gallon of gas. Drilling in ANWR won't do that. That might lower the price in 10 years when we're able to get that gas, that oil, about a penny a gallon. And that'll only last, based on today's usage, about 3 months. So we're really going to go to all that trouble for a 3-month supply of oil for a penny a gallon, when we can do things that we've been doing all along, when we examine our habits by conserving. You know, George can't run his business without getting the trucks to the spot. I can't run my business without cranking up the air conditioner so you all feel comfortable. But there are things that we can do that make sense. So pushing conservation is an important part of it. But another part of it is figure out how we can develop some jobs out of this. And in the 6th Congressional District, we're ripe for biofuels refinery. I think if we, with our connections in the transportation links that we have, a non-corn-based biofuels refinery like they've done in Rhode Island, like they've done in New York, we can produce the fuel that we need to run our automobiles here. So at least we have an option. Where else do we need to invest? We have a lot of smart people here. We've got college kids now. They are so smart. We never even would have thought to invent the electric car. Someone has. But why don't we use them? We don't use them because there's a big Eastern syndicate out there trying to control everything. Well, I think we have to break through that. We've reached the limit. We've reached the point where we say, enough. We're ready for solutions. We want to create